So
you drive, I'll just.
So where are we?
So this is Building 30.
Okay.
We are the Communicator team. We're actually technically the clients and platform team.
Yeah.
We're the people who produce Microsoft Office Communicator.
And who are you?
I'm Andrew Sinclair. I'm the director for the team I was just talking about.
Great. And what is Office Communicator a new product?
Office Communicator is a new product.
Yeah.
The focus is integration. People say, well, is it an IM client? Is it? No. It's integration. We've taken all of these disparate tools that we've had in the company for a while, and created an experience that allows you to what we call escalate up and down. So you can be in one form of communication, such as IM or on the phone or whatever, and then you add other modes: full stream video, live meeting integration, whatever.
And how do you get it?
How do you get it? It actually comes with Live Communication Server.
Okay.
So it's the client for Live Communication Server. It is targeted at the enterprise. It is a secure, real-time client.
Yeah.
It's not a public cloud client, although, as people know from the recent announcements, we do federate with AOL, Yahoo, and MSN.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome too. I was just chatting with somebody on that AIM through it. And the reason I wanted to get in touch with you, I've been using it for a couple of weeks, and it's completely changed how I use my phone and how I use.
Well, wait.
Because now I can have things routed through my computer and have it go to my mobile phone. Also I have one email client now, which will deal with all my friends on AIM, MSN Messenger internally, which is really neat. What else do I like about it? I can look at well, you do the demo. Will say that I was.
We find this a lot actually. But I find I don't actually have to tell people about it. They tell me about it, and then I tell them a few tips and tricks that they didn't know about, and they go away happy. And it is because we've unified. Do you want to?
Yeah. So you want to give me a little demo here?
Yeah, let me give you a little demo.
Let me get my tripod all situated here.
So here it is.
Yep.
This is Microsoft Office Live Communicator.
So it looks like an IM client.
It looks like an IM client. Now the most important thing is presence. Very focused on presence. So the idea that if I want to talk about you, it would be not talk about you, talk to you.
Yeah.
It would be a pretty good idea if I knew whether you were there before I tried to talk to you.
Right.
That's the crux of it. We've sprinkled presence into Office. We've sprinkled it into Communicator. So you now have this people-centric way of talking. The analogy we use is that we stopped using device names for email about 15, 20 years ago, but until now we've been calling people's phones instead of them. Communicator changes that. It allows you to communicate with the people across many modalities, and also across different types of people. So the first thing to notice is I have the standard buddy list. There's these funny little butterfly things and this little running map. I can communicate legally with AOL, MSN, or Yahoo. I don't actually have any Yahoo buddies, but there's my brother there, there's my father, my wife.
Now, how do you add an AOL member?
So adding an AOL member, I'm just going to make one up. Fred at AOL.com. There he is. Right-click, copy contact to family, and there he is. Of course, he's not a real person. We know that it's an AOL guy because of the domain, so we tell you it's an AOL guy. And I just added one. If I wanted to move him to another group, I would just drag and drop him. Just to show you that again, I just drag and drop him. Yep. Or if I want to get rid of him, remove from contact list. Yep, and he's gone. And you kind of forced me into doing a demo of one of the big changes. The buddy list in the enterprise is everybody in the enterprise. In the consumer space, it's your address book.
Right.
In the enterprise, everybody's in your address book. So adding this search metaphor, and as you can see, it's actually an iterative search. So I type your email address.
Yeah.
All of these things are finding is actually resolving it to the same guy all the time.
Yeah.
And there it is. And then we get into the interesting stuff. So I can send you an IM. You know that. That's fairly standard. I know you're not there, so it's not that interesting. I'm going to close that for a second. And the big advance. What are these things? Well, your mobile phone, your desk phone. Okay, so I'm going to click on your mobile phone because I know you've got it in your pocket.
Yep.
And you'll notice my desk phone just went off the hook.
And it's over here somewhere. Oh, it's in my pocket.
in his pocket. So if you pick it up. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we're now in a call.
Yep.
I pause the call. We're going to get feedback because you've got your phone there. I can unpause it. I can transfer it to somebody else. I can do he hung up. I can do a console. I have control of my desk phone from my desktop. So I've got a lot of power.
Now you can conference other people in here too.
Yeah,
right?
I could have added other people in there, so I could.
All based on sort of an IM metaphor, which is what I found really useful because I could quickly search for people, like Vic Indotra or Steve Cheney, and conference them in. Have you ever conferenced Bill Gates in, by the way?
No.
You never accidentally clicked on his name and said, "Hey, Bill."
No, but I could pick somebody. I'm going to pick somebody random.
Yeah. Vic Indotra is good. He's actually in a plane right now, so
he's on a plane. Well, we have the video of Gadeep sitting on an SAS plane doing video conferencing with us over the IP link they have off the SAS plane. So yeah, we do that. And there's Vic, and I could add them all into that call. But let me go back a little bit, and I'm going to pick Amritanch. I'll just see if he's actually at his desk. And as you can see, we're both in. Okay, so there's Amritanch.
Yep.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call Amritanch, and we just did this with your phone, but I can call him. I can call his cell phone, any new phone.
So you don't have to touch your phone.
No, I try not to touch my phone. You can get all sorts of diseases.
Now, what kind of phone system does this work for? So here at Microsoft, we have a pretty high-tech phone system.
Okay, let's just hang up whilst I answer that question. Amritanch will come back. So, actually, we don't have a particularly high-tech. We have a standard PBX at Microsoft. So what we've done is we've provided integration at the protocol level. And we've gone out and built this pretty big ecosystem of PBX vendors and gateway vendors. So that if you support the right protocol, which means PBX has to support it, or you can put a gateway in and they're upgrading them, we can control any PBX. We're not becoming the phone, we're controlling the phone. And that's mainly because a lot of our customers were looking at these things, which are getting big screens on them, and saying, this is ridiculous. We've got this big investment here, and we've got that big investment there. Right?
Yeah.
Amritanch?
Come on in.
Do you need to do video also?
Yeah. Okay. So that's Amritanch. Yeah. Freshly back from his wedding. They were saying, well, we've got these two big investments, and they're completely disconnected. The two biggest investments I have in my infrastructure is my IP and PC network and my telephony network. It's about time they join together with the cost of these things, and these things are getting pretty expensive. These phones are getting expensive. They want to use the big 19-inch, 17-inch screen they've got on the desk to start controlling. The other thing they want, and I'll get back to some demo, let Amritanch go there, is they want office integration. Now, Kelly's not at her desk, but why isn't it that any time I see somebody's name, I can see she's busy, I could escalate that up into a call? Feature that I thought you were going to mention, but you didn't, is when you miss a call, as I did here, I get email telling me I missed a call.
Yeah.
So, I missed a call from Kelly, I could click on it, and I could call her back immediately. This is actually most useful when you're away from your desk, because it shows up on your phone. It shows up on your mobile phone as well. So I'm typically out and about. Somebody calls my desk phone. If I haven't set transfer up, I get an email, I go here, and I just call them back, and the link's working here. But I mentioned transfer. So before we do the demo, let's just go and just bring Communicator up again. The ability to transfer your phone. So here,
do that again so I can see the menu selection.
So here we have the phone stuff, and I'm going to go here. Call forwarding. I can set call forwarding so that when I'm away, calls go to my mobile. They go, based on where I am. So if I'm using this computer, so there are some call forwarding. Interesting scenario, which you probably haven't thought of.
Yep.
If you set your desktop machine to forward to your cell phone when you're not at your desktop, and then you go home and you run Communicator there, and you get your home machine to forward to your home, you get an interesting scenario. You can sit at work, be working away, all your calls come to your desktop. The second you walk away, it takes about a minute to decide you're away, but you walk away or you lock your desktop, it starts forwarding to your cell phone. You get in the car, all your calls come to your cell phone, you go home, you log in, suddenly all your calls come to home. Great way of getting your wife irritated at you, but another great way of getting people to be able to be in contact with you all the time.
The heck with work-home balance, right?
You know, this is Microsoft. We like to work hard.
24 hours a day, yeah.
24 hours a day. I've worked here a long time. My wife knows who I am.
Yep.
So here we have Amritaj. She's ready. Now the big thing I wanted to point out before I go into this, I'm adding different modes of communication. Currently, you can have an IM and you can have a telephone call. Well, if I click on this button here and I initiate the call, I have IM and a telephone call in the same window.
Right.
So I'm adding value to that telephone call. Are you there, Amritaj? Are you there?
Sounds like he's there.
Yeah, he's probably he's struggling to pick up his phone. Oh, there you are, Amritaj. Okay, so I'm going to hang up and do another mode of calling. So I'm going to hang that up. So that was me controlling the phone. How about me using my PC as a phone? So I click on the VoIP button here, and I'm going to call Amritaj. Now this is calling his desk phone, because we have a PSTN to VoIP gateway in our infrastructure here. Hi, Amritaj. Yeah, there it is, and I can turn the volume up or down. You there, Amritaj? Okay, I'm going to cut you off again. Yeah, it's always best to, on the demos to cut him off immediately. So I'm doing PC. So this means that I can be around campus, I can be VPN'd in from Beijing, and I can make calls to phone numbers around Redmond or through our PSTN system.
Right.
Moving on, I'm going to close that down. Let's do a little bit of video. Now it's actually the video on my little Sony here.
So you have a Sony.
Yeah, it's Sony with a built-in camera. So Amritaj is going to accept the video call. Hey Amritaj, how's it going?
Good.
Well, there's Amritaj, full screen. So we got pretty good quality full screen video there, and what a handsome chap.
You can see me here.
Thank you. So I have yes, I have actually. If you want to see you, actually I can switch the video and the vanity shot. Switch the video. But so we now have video, voice, IM.
Now, could we get multiple people in video?
You can get multiple people in. You need an MCU. So Radvision or Tambird or these guys are producing MCUs that allow you to pull them in. The thing I'm going to show you now, I'm going to add data conferencing in there.
Okay.
So I'm going to get. I've actually muted his sound so that it doesn't feed back on you.
Right.
So I've just added him to a live meeting session, which will take a minute for him to accept and then for us to get into. There he is. Here comes live meeting. So I now have a voice call, a video call, an IM call, and a live meeting session, all starting out of the same conversation. And I've escalated up, I've escalated down, I've added things in. So I've now got this in his live meeting. There it is, and if I click on there, we're now doing
so you can share PowerPoint.
I can share PowerPoint.
You both can edit it.
Yeah, we both can edit it. We have application share, all launched out of the same tool. Now, let me just close that down. I have this very powerful tool now sitting on my desktop.
Right.
That lets me know if people are there, and then allows me, without changing tools, without messing around, having no IP addresses or anything, just with single clicks to call people. Let me show you the final thing.
Okay.
I'm just going to try PSTN, Amritaj. So you're familiar with PSTN conferencing, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. Where you dial this somewhat large series of numbers, 1-800, whatever, and then you enter your leader code, and then, okay. So let's do it a little easier. I'm going to click on this button. This is connecting to the MCI service, which is still in beta. So here we go. So there it is. It's saying the MCI service. It's actually giving me a choice of phone numbers I can go to. So I'm going to say, okay, call.
Yep.
And MCI will now call me. It takes them and I'll pick up the call. So I've answered the call.
After the tone, please state your name, followed by the pound sign.
Andrew and Channel 9.
You are the first caller to this conference. Please wait while others join.
Okay, so
Andrew and Channel 9.
So we're now in
Joining.
an audio conference call. Amritaj is in the call. I have IM tied to it as well. I have the ability to do interesting things, which when we first implemented this, I started.
Hi there.
Hi, Average.
Joining.
There you are. So we're now in that. Of course, I can mute him now. I bet you didn't know you could mute an audio conference.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, there you are. It's a little button at the bottom. We're sending instructions up to MCI, and I'm muting him, so he doesn't know that I'm now talking about him. I unmute him. I can add other people into the call. So if I wanted to add somebody else, let's pick my dev manager. I add him. He gets added to the session. If I decide I don't want him in the session, I can take him into a side conversation and talk about Amortage. And I have
This UI is really nice and clean and easy to use, which is
surprisingly.
I was happy.
That's where we spent most of the time. You'd have thought we'd spend a huge amount. I'm just going to hang up on Amortage.
Okay.
You'd have thought we'd have spent all of our time looking at the protocols. We did. We have a lot of. We went out and hired some very clever protocol guys, and we worked with the PBX guys, the audio conference providers, the video conference providers. We then spent a huge amount of time getting the interaction model right, because we wanted it so that you could go from single click from one mode to the next and get this very smooth, very obvious way of interacting with it. Because frankly, the tools are just too painful today. And we believe we've got pretty close to getting very simple, very easy to use tools that allow you to do video, voice, and everything.
Yeah, well, that's pretty impressive. What development tools did you use on this? Is this C++ app?
Yeah, this is
app,
all
or?
C++. It uses DOE, declarative UI, and that sort of stuff. It's a fairly standard application. It's COM-based. It has an extensibility model, which is how we extend into Outlook. It's not a huge extensibility model. It's how third parties, we're working with people like Siebel and PeopleSoft, so that the Office integration now will show up in their applications, so that whatever you're doing, wherever you see somebody's name, you can then escalate to some form of real-time communication or email.
Now, can I record any of this stuff into my hard drive or record it?
No, we don't currently support recording.
Okay.
A lot of this is because there's a lot to be done around recording. We're just not ready. We are an enterprise solution. It's secure, encrypted on all channels. It's authenticated, so when you're communicating...
So if I'm at the local Starbucks using Wi-Fi, nobody can listen in on
Nobody can listen in. It's all encrypted. We will get to, and there will be requirements. We're getting a lot of requirements out of healthcare and financial space. Their requirements are around being secure and auditable. The server, which is Live Communication Server, does allow you to audit the IM channel, which is required for Sarbanes-Oxley and that sort of stuff. As we move forward, we know that we're going to have to put audio recording, session recording around data collaboration, as they need irrefutable evidence that things happen and the like.
Right.
All of this can be turned on or off, but it's there.
I'd like to save my audio to weblogs and start my little podcast show right from here.
Do your podcast right from here. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It would be awesome.
Well, you need an MCU to do it, but we have the ability to do group IM, so I can just right-click on somebody and throw everybody into that.
Oh, you have a group saved here?
Yeah, they're all groups. So I just threw a whole load of people into a session. I guess your groups are, your little podcast will be more than about 10 people.
Well, I want to have like a conversation with like 4 people.
Yeah, well, you can
over audio and maybe even video and record that. And maybe hit save as podcast or something like that, or save to the web, or save to my drive even.
Yeah, we're taking feature requests. We're about to
There's mine.
Actually, we've hit what we call. People want to, we have in live meeting the ability to record and play back, including the audio, the application sharing or the PowerPoint or whatever.
Right.
And that's used a lot. It's used for training. People will do a training video, then save it, and then you can go and view it afterwards or view the meetings. We're getting those requests just for one-to-one conversations. Of course, we then have to be aware of a lot of the regulatory requirements, like you're not allowed to record phone calls without telling the...
Yeah.
So, we'll get into that sort of stuff, and we're getting requests for it, and we'll work out where it fits in.
How about for home users? Is there, home office users, is there going to be a version for them, or is this only for an enterprise live communications?
This is enterprise focused, although as I say, we also produce the platform. So a lot of these capabilities are also available from MSN. They're also available for any third party. So we made a very definite decision to focus on enterprise scenarios with Communicator and consumer and home scenarios with MSN. And you'll see the skew, but you'll also see the overlap. You'll see that I can now send IM to an MSN user. Over time, you'll see other modalities being added in. You'll see the great video stuff that they've just put in with the MSN 7 release. A lot of it based on stuff that we provide in the base platform, so that over time they can communicate, so that other clients can be built. which is another important factor. You know, we think we have the best client here, but we also build a platform that let other people build a client on top of us, because we want people to communicate and we want people to think about presence-based, people-centric communication.
Very cool. This is really an excellent product. And,
Well, I'm glad they're using it.
happy to see. Happy to see it. Anything else that you think people would need to know about this?
Not really. It's extremely close to RTM. In fact, we went into RC day
Now,
before.
can I do? My son's down in California, and he uses MSN Messenger,
Yep.
and we're using the video and audio features of that. Can I use audio and video from here to MSN?
Not at the moment. No.
No.
You can do IM with him if you want to do audio and video, and it's mainly a firewall issue because you know we have a firewall in Microsoft that stops you from doing that, so it's doing its job.
Yep.
The MSN service actually uses a relay, so if you want to do video and audio to your son, you can do that.
Okay. Very cool. And thank you for spending a few minutes, Sean.
Thanks for coming over.
Great.